Okay guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to go ahead and run the benchmark on it's a 3Dmark and benchmark, and I'm running it on the Razor Blade 14. So let's get this started here and see what kind of specifications we get out of it. The Razor Blade that I'm using is the 14. It has 16 gigabyte of RAM, has a PCIe 256 gig drive. This is their standard 1080p high definition screen, and I'm going to run it, and it's just loading. Let's just see what kind of specs we get out of it now. It depends on, there's just like so many laptops on the market. I looked at Aorus X5 V6. That's a nice computer. I like its keyboard lighting, and it does have a full-fledged 1070 in it. You can upgrade the RAM. And this is looking pretty good. So we're going to run this. And I'll talk while we're running through our 3Dmark. Also, the Aorus goes up to 4 gigahertz. But it does seem that this Razor Blade has quicker boot up time than the Aorus and my desktop. And that's something to be said. And it possibly could be because the PCIe, the drive in there, maybe it's faster. I don't know. That's something that you guys can decide and let me know if that's an indication of why this is pretty fast. I like the Razor, but I wish they would have did the keyboard, put the keyboard on the Razor, like the ampersand and question mark, all those other things are not lit up. Even when you put the cap locks on, that doesn't do anything. Shift, that doesn't do anything. So what happens here if I go down here and look at the keyboard, see there, see the F keys don't eliminate. On my Aorus it does. So that's the only thing I was wondering about is why didn't they do that on the Blade? Because of course if you want to back the keys, I guess they figured gamers aren't going to use an ampersand. But I will have to say that this Razor is fast, speed wise. So let's see, it's going to load up into the graphics next. Okay, now it'll load graphics test 1 and graphics test 2, then it'll do a CPU and it'll be done. And I want to give it the same amount of time I gave the other programs when I was running on the other on my Asus G20 CB and on the Aorus X5 V6, and we'll see what the readings are. Let me take a look. I got the readings here so I can compare them. Let's see here on my. Okay, so my benchmark on the Aorus, let's see what it was 5005. Okay, I'm going to write that down. So it was 5005 was the final benchmark on the Aorus. Let's see on the okay, that was on the Aorus. Let's take a look here and see on the. No, that was on. Yeah, that's the Aorus. Asus C G23. 3Dmark. Now it's running into, I think, the second graphics test. Let's see here. I gotta pull it up because I had it on the other one. Let's just see where it is. The Aorus was, now you can hear the fans on the blade. You can probably hear them from there. Hear the fans cranking up because they are going to crank up. I think it's, it's going to get a little warm, especially on this bench test. Definitely a little hot. Alright, let's see here. And on the, okay, so the Aorus was 5005, and the G20CB, the Aorus had a 4 gigahertz processor. The Asus had a 3.4. So let's see. Now it's going to do the CPU test on that right now. And so on the Asus was 4863. So this is almost finishing. Let's see. So Aorus 4 gigahertz, 16 gig RAM with a GX 1070 in it. The blade is coming up, but then the Asus G20 CB gave me 4863, and that's 32 gig of RAM. That's with an SSD. It didn't have a PCIe drive, but an SSD, 1 terabyte blue Western Digital. Now you can hear them fans, right? And it's up from like FPS of 13. Let's see. And it's going to finish its benchmark up. And what's the number we're going to get there? Be interesting to see, huh? Okay, so 3048. So 3048. So of all three, this blade gives the lowest. 3048. It says the GX, I believe, 1060 in it. So it would be, yeah, that's probably why it would be. My Asus with the 1070 in it, desktop computer, 32 gig of RAM, 3.4, gets 4863, and the gigabyte Aorus was 5005, so 5005. So far of those, the Aorus that had 16 gig of RAM, it had 4 gigahertz processor, and it probably brings it up a lot. But I wanted to show you that, and thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a great day. Hope it was educational. Which one do I think? I don't know. I'm still searching for the most perfect one. I heard about the Asus Zephyrus 501, which has a 1070 in it, actually a 1080 in it, which performs like a little bit. I think it has the 1080 in it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it has the 1080 in it, and they're a little bit more expensive, but they said it performs better than a 1070 and less than a 1080 because of its mobile type of. But thanks a lot.